"Sir, I know how to make your daughter walk again," said the brown-skinned beggar boy to millionaire Gregory Vale. He'd passed through that alley 100 times, but never like this. Never with the squeak of wheelchair wheels beside his. Polished shoes, never with a silence so thick it could suffocate him. His 8-year-old daughter, Naomi, sat quietly in her wheelchair, legs motionless, and wrapped in a blue knitted blanket. Her blonde hair fell over her cheeks, her eyes fixed on the pavement as if she'd given up waiting for miracles. Gregory hadn't. Not really. But hope had become a cruel word in his world since the accident 2 years prior. Every doctor, therapist, and miracle worker had taken his money and left him with the same answer: permanent spinal damage. "She may live a long life," they said gently, "but she'll never walk again." His money could move mountains, but not nerves. That's when he heard the voice. "Sir," said the boy from the alley corner, "I know how to make your daughter walk again." Gregory stopped, one hand still on Naomi's wheelchair handle. He turned slowly, expecting a scammer or worse. Instead, he saw a barefoot boy. The child couldn't be older than Naomi, brown-skinned, skinny, barefoot, and swimming in an oversized coat. His hands were dirt-stained, and one eye looked slightly bruised. But his voice was steady. "What did you say?" Gregory rasped. "I said I can help your daughter," the boy repeated. Gregory frowned. "Is this some kind of joke? Who sent you?" "No one," said the boy. "My name's Eli. I live behind the train station. I saw you pushing her here yesterday. I waited here today because I knew you'd come back." Gregory narrowed his eyes. "You've been watching us?" "Yes, but not in a creepy way. I see lots of people pass by, but she looked sad, like she used to run, but her legs forgot." Naomi's head turned slightly. That was more than anyone had said about her in weeks. "I've taken her to the best hospitals in the world," Gregory said firmly. "Neurologists, surgeons, even holistic charlatans who claim to move energy with their fingers. There's nothing you can do." "But you haven't taken her to my grandma," said Eli. "She helped me when no one else could." "You're 8 years old. I'll be 9 next month." Gregory almost laughed. Eli stepped closer. "She doesn't take money, just trust. And she never asks anyone to believe, just to try." Naomi looked up at her father. "Please, can we go?" Gregory hesitated. No and absolutely not spun in his head. But so did Naomi's voice, how it had cracked weeks ago when she whispered, "I hate being like this." He knelt beside her. "If anything feels wrong, we leave, understood?" She nodded. Eli smiled, turned, and walked. They followed. The path behind the city was unfamiliar. Tangles of weeds, rusted fences, graffiti on broken brick walls. Naomi winced every time her wheelchair jolted. Gregory nearly turned back twice, but Eli kept glancing over his shoulder, reassuringly calm for his age. They reached the edge of a wooded trail that seemed to lead nowhere. "This way," said Eli. Gregory sighed. "You know, if anything happens to my daughter, she'll be more than okay." At the trail's end stood a small cabin built of weathered wood and moss, like something from a fairy tale. An old woman stepped onto the porch. Her long silver hair was braided with bits of bark and thread. Her eyes were striking, ageless green. "I wondered when you'd bring them," she said to Eli. He nodded. He doesn't believe, but she does. Naomi smiled weakly. The woman knelt before her. "May I touch your knees?" Naomi looked at her father. He hesitated, then nodded. The woman gently placed her hands on Naomi's legs. Her eyes closed and she began to hum, a soft, low sound like wind through trees. Naomi shuddered. "I felt that," she whispered. Gregory stepped forward. "Felt what?" "A tingling in my toes." The woman opened her eyes. Her spine isn't dead, just frozen. Trapped in pain, the body obeys the heart more than the brain. "That's not medical science," Gregory muttered. "No," said the woman, But science doesn't hold your daughter's tears every night. Eli stepped forward. She can try to stand. The woman looked at Naomi. Only if she wants to. Naomi nodded. The woman slid the wheelchair back and helped her up. Naomi's legs trembled. Gregory lurched forward in panic, but the woman raised a hand. Naomi's right foot shifted, then her left. She stood, as wobbly as a fawn, but she stood. Gregory fell to his knees. Naomi! Naomi turned to him, smiling through tears. Dad, I'm standing. Gregory couldn't breathe. He crawled to her feet and hugged her tightly, terrified she'd collapse or worse, vanish. Eli stayed quiet behind them. Gregory turned to him, stunned. Who are you? Eli shrugged. Just a kid who believed someone could be whole again. Gregory reached into his pocket. I'll pay you anything. Name your price. Eli shook his head. I don't need money. I just needed someone to listen. As sunlight broke through the clouds, Naomi took 3 steps toward her father. And the world he'd thought was lost. She took another shaky step. Gregory watched, awestruck, hands half raised, unsure whether to catch her or let her walk. She trembled. Yes, tears streamed freely. But there was no denying it. She was walking. A second step. A third. Then she fell. Gregory lunged, catching her gently before she hit the ground. I've got you, he whispered hoarsely. I've got you. Naomi clung to him, sobbing. I felt my legs, Dad. I really felt them. You did, sweetheart, he said. You did. The old woman stood silent behind them, hands clasped, as if she'd seen this many times before. No theatrics, no applause, just peace. Eli crouched, nearby, unsmiling, uncelebrating, just watching. Gregory turned to him again, this time kneeling to his level. I need to know, he said. How did you know? How did you do this? Eli looked at the ground. I didn't. I just remembered. Remembered what? My grandma wasn't a doctor, but she knew people, how they breathe, how they break. She said, not all pain is in the bones. Some lives in silence. Some hides where X-rays can't see. Gregory stared, moved beyond words. Eli shifted restlessly. I used to walk funny. Had a twisted foot since birth. Kids laughed. My mom left when I was 4. Grandma was all I had. One day, she just said it was time. Put her hand on my foot, whispered things in a language I don't know, and told me to stand. I did. Never fell again. Naomi blinked at him. She healed you? She reminded me I wasn't broken, Eli replied. Gregory nodded slowly. Where is she now? Eli's eyes lowered. Gone. A year ago. I tried foster care, but I ran. They said I was lying, that I made it all up. So I started helping people myself. Only the ones who asked, the ones who really believed. He wiped his nose on his sleeve. Sometimes I fail, sometimes I don't. Gregory stood and faced the old woman. Who are you? She smiled. Just someone who listens. The rest is up to them. But this is something else. This is the part of humanity most people forgot. That healing doesn't always need pills, wires, or surgery. Sometimes it just needs presence. Gregory looked at Naomi, now standing again, gripping her wheelchair's backrest to test her balance. Her fingers shook, but her eyes burned with something fierce. Hope. I want to take you with us, Gregory told Eli. We have doctors, specialists, therapists. I can set you up, give you a future. But Eli gently shook his head. My place is here, in the streets, the forgotten corners. That's where the pain lives. That's where people like me are needed. Gregory hesitated. What if I want to help you? You already did. You listened. Most don't. Gregory pulled a card from his coat pocket, crumpled and damp from rain but legible. If you ever need me, for anything, food, shelter, education, call this number. My assistant answers day or night. Eli took the card, studied it, then carefully folded it into his coat. Naomi turned to him. "Will I see you again?" Eli smiled. "If you ever forget how to believe, I'll probably be around." She grinned outright, limped forward, and hugged him. It was the first time anyone had hugged him in over a year. He closed his eyes and hugged back. A week later, Naomi stood in front of her school. A crowd of students watched in awe as she walked across the stage, still slow, still careful, but on her own. No wheelchair, no braces. Reporters asked, "What was the turning point?" Naomi simply smiled and said, "A boy who believed I could." That same morning, 3 districts away, Eli sat in an alley with a new girl, one who'd lost her voice after trauma. He didn't ask her story, didn't offer food. He just sat beside her and hummed the same melody his grandmother once sang. Because healing doesn't always start with medicine. Sometimes it starts with someone refusing to walk away. Ending message: if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more heartfelt, dramatic, and unexpected tales. Let us know in the comments which part of the world you're watching from. We love hearing from you. All until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.